a very bizarre comment by Spencer Rattler, who may climb close to being the Tannehill guy, who I can't remember his name all of a sudden. I'm struggling with his name. The long-haired mullet dude in the 90s that beat Tennessee at South Carolina. Do you remember his name, Caleb?
Wasn't it Steve, I thought?
Tannehill, yes. And I've heard he's a great guy since. But the fact is, he liked to talk trash during the game. Spencer Rattler likes to talk trash after the game, saying this was Tennessee's Super Bowl. I'm sorry. There's never been a more inaccurate piece of trash talking in the history of man. I don't know how he thinks that Tennessee looks at South Carolina, but Tennessee looks at South Carolina as kind of the little brother of the SEC East. Fair or not. No offense, South Carolina fans, but that's the way they look at South Carolina. You want to talk about Alabama and Georgia? Sure, those could be called in-season Super Bowls, but this was not an in-season Super Bowl, Caleb. And I just thought it was a very bizarre statement, almost one of which his program he thinks has already arrived. And I think part of this is a little bit more deep-seated because I see Shane Beamer just having a fantastic time at all of his public engagements. They did beat Tennessee and Clemson last year. Congratulations. But this program's a long ways for competing for championships. Let me just ask you. I specifically didn't want to text you over the weekend because I just want to get your honest, fresh thoughts. What did you think of those bizarre comments? And then we're going to hear from Fred White and also Cooper Mays and Jacob Warren what they thought about the comments. But let me get your take first. That's mine. They're just kind of stupid. And I don't know that he understands what the SEC is all about. Where is he from originally?
Spencer Rattler. I'm going to look that up now. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to guess, by the way, Texas. That's my guess. But
okay. Well, this ain't Friday Night Lights, so he just doesn't get it. It was a bizarre comment that I think rubbed Tennessee fans a little bit the wrong way. Sounded like a sore loser. So while you look that up, I want to get to some people on the comment board, and it's
Arizona.
Travis says it's easy to assume you've arrived at 2-3, and cute comments. It was just all out, just a goofy thing to say. And I like this. Smoky Mountain Red has renamed Cooper as the general. I will text him that during the show and see if he likes it. I think that's pretty good. All right, we're going to get to Cooper, and I thought he would have that much of an impact. I thought he moved the line because it leaked out that he was going to play Sunday because all these gambling sites have guys in these programs, and that's why the line was 11 or 12 instead of 8 or 9. Cooper even said, do you think I could move the line that much? I said, I think you did. And I still believe that firmly. I think it would have been 8 or 9 and would have been way different. But Caleb, let's stick with our topic at hand and the comments. Just how did they strike you?
I'm with you. They were shocking that he would say that. That was very much a sore loser statement to make. He was clearly very upset that the crowd got into it, that he didn't play well. He said in that same comment, he said, we're 2-3, but it doesn't feel like we're 2-3. I don't get that at all. I mean,
you are what the record says you are.
Also, okay, if you were 2-3, but like you beat the spread in 2 of those games or something like that, maybe you're 2-3 and 2 of your 3 losses, the other team covered the spread. Tennessee didn't just beat South Carolina. They covered the 12-point spread on Saturday. North Carolina covered the spread against them in the opener. So the only loss where they covered the spread in was against Georgia. So that's all they really have to hang their hat on, isn't it? Covering the spread against Georgia at this moment?
Yeah. It just
like you're
go ahead.
And so that's where I was kind of like, when you think, like, how does it not feel like you're 2-3? It's not like you lost 3 plays. It's not like you lost all 3 games on the last drive of the game. You lost all 3 games by double digits. You're a 2-3 football team. And also, he played poorly on Saturday. Dave, let's call it what it is. Yes, Spencer Rattler has no help. We've talked about that. John Adams will be on the show and has been very high on him, and I understand it. Spencer Rattler has absolutely no help. He also, in my opinion, has really horrible coaching. I don't know why he ever committed to South Carolina. He shouldn't have followed Shane Beamer. However, he still played poorly on Saturday, and a lot of the stuff you might have thought about him as an NFL quarterback, you might have to reset your thought process on that. Because what we saw on Saturday, yes, he was under pressure, but if you're not blitzing him, if you drop back in coverage and you can get a little bit of pressure, he's useless. That's what we kind of saw with Spencer Rattler.
Here's what our Sunday wrap-up had to say, and if you are not a part of that, you need to go ahead and click like and subscribe, and be sure you've got your notifications on, because we're dropping stuff on Sunday like a clumsy waiter. So here we go. Here's what Fred White had to say about this must be Tennessee's Super Bowl.
Tells me that some people don't need a microphone in their face. How about that? I mean, we expect to beat South Carolina. There's not a fan that will tell you, oh, well, we got to beat South Carolina. No, we expect to beat you. We expect to beat you every year. It just shows that your game was a fluke last year. That's it.
I thought it did. And I think that this program as a whole, from the top down, South Carolina, no pun intended, it's probably a little cockier than they should be.
Hey man, I enjoyed my fried chicken, my baked chicken, my grilled chicken, my wings, my chicken marsala all weekend.
Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Here's what he did, and that's Fred White. His appearance brought to you weekly on that Sunday show with Fred, brought to you by Herald Group Security Solutions, leadership experience. Wait till we get to Coop. It's classic. Leadership experience, specialization, addressing problems through unique mission-specific mitigation techniques. In other words, they make your kids safer. They're working with private schools now, but go to your public school or private school. Let's make the push. Let's make the legislation happen. HeraldGRP.com. Highly trained security individuals to protect your children at school. We've heard of the tragedies. Let's avoid them. HeraldGRP.com. All right. Here's what Cooper Mays had to say. Revenge, or a reckoning, as they said on the television broadcast, was that in your mind heading into the game?
No.
Really? Not at all?
No. I've only lost to South Carolina one time in my career. Like, I don't know. I think like Spencer Rattler said that it was like our Super Bowl or something. I didn't see it like that.
Okay. I was going to get to those comments. They were a little bit odd. What did you think of this being your Super Bowl?
Yeah, I didn't think it was that. I don't really know what I don't know what I thought it was, but it definitely wasn't that. They're a good football team, but I don't think anybody thought that it was our Super Bowl.
I mean, so there is Cooper Mays, brought to you by City Heating and Air Conditioning, cityheatandair.com. How about Jacob Warren, who's usually a little bit more reserved on his comments? By the way, Campbell, Cunningham, Taylor, Hahn, I don't have glasses. I don't have contacts because of them. LASIK and cataract surgery done locally, ccteyes.com. Here's Jacob's thoughts on Super Bowl time for the Vols against South Carolina. Spencer Rattler, I don't know if you've even heard about this yet, said this must be Tennessee's Super Bowl. Did you hear that comment?
I did not, but I saw something on Twitter about somebody tweeting something about we won. I don't know. I saw something on Twitter about it, about someone saying Super Bowl. But he can say that if he wants. It doesn't matter to me. They rushed the field on us last year, so that was their Super Bowl, I guess. They won.
They rushed the field on us last year. That was their Super Bowl. It's the most bizarre trash talking, honestly, I can remember in a 25-year career, Caleb. It not only makes no sense, but it's just, I mean, that was their Super Bowl last year. It's just, and it's September. I mean, Caleb, I could make no sense of it, why he would say that.
Look, honestly, I wonder if he exposed himself not being used to playing in a crowd like Neyland Stadium. And I wonder if that's where that comes from, because I think Neyland Stadium, maybe it was just really loud and he just wasn't used to that. But it's loud like that for most night games against SEC teams. Like outside of Vanderbilt and Kentucky back in the day, if a semi-competitive SEC team comes to town and faces Tennessee at 7 o'clock for a night game, Dave, it gets loud, doesn't it? It's really loud. And I don't think Spencer Rattler's used to that. And I think that's where that comes from. You know, he's played Big 12 football for a while. Those Oklahoma games, a lot of them were at noon or 3:30 in the Big 12. And then and when they are night games, they're not at loud stadiums. And I'm trying to remember who South Carolina played last year in the SEC on the road at night. That would have been a imposing game. You know, they played Tennessee at home at night, but Kentucky and Vanderbilt were their 2 night road games in the SEC last year. So that's what it is. He's never seen a night environment like Neyland Stadium. And guess what? Neyland Stadium, as you know, Dave, is always like that at night in big games.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of times, like, it's that during the day, you really have to have a down opponent for it not to be like that. I mean, and part of that are the fans, obviously, but part of that's what Danny White has built. And I credit him for making it just an incredible venue. That's one of the top 2 or 3, I believe, toughest places to play. I used to have it, I say top 5. I used to have it top 10 to 15. I think it's even higher now with all that they do. So I'm going to ask you a question, and it's part of What the H?
What the? What was he thinking?
Release the hounds.
The Dave Hooker Show.
Keep cool.
A presentation of OffTheHookSports.com.
So what the H today, you have to pick one word to describe Spencer odd comments about the Super Bowl. And here we go. It's brought to you by Zen Sports, the new sportsbook in Tennessee, revolutionizing the way you earn sports betting rewards. That means no more deposit bonuses that turn into deposit nightmares. On Zen Sports, what you see is what you get. And with their cash rewards program, you get a lot of cash. For a welcome bonus, earn an unlimited 5% cash back on your betting volume for your first 15 days when you sign up with the promo code HOOKED. That's HOOKED. Sign up now. Support our advertisers and sponsors. That's why we're here. Unlimited 5% cash back. Keep betting. Keep earning with up to 3% cash back on your betting volume every month after that. And refer friends to earn a percentage of their betting volume as cash rewards too. Zen Sports bringing the cash back to Tennessee. So if you bet big on sports, you want to be betting on Zen Sports. Zen Sports betting just got better. So you got to pick one word, Caleb. One word to describe Spencer Rattler's comments. That word is
salty. He's salty.
I'm going to go in a different direction. Whether he was upset or not, whether or not emotions played into that, I'm going to go ignorant.
That's a good one.
Just ignorant. You know, he said he's from Texas, right?
No, Arizona.
Arizona, excuse me. He just doesn't get it. He doesn't get how this is a big game because there are only 12 of them. And there are only a certain amount at home. So I'm just going to go with all out ignorant. I thought it was incredibly ignorant. Fill in the message board and I'll get to you. If you had to pick a word, very good word by Alliance, who says petulant. That's pretty strong. And listen to this. If Neyland Stadium can be a Super Bowl against South Carolina, then I'll go ahead and tell you right now, the Vols are in a very good position.